Today I'm putting an eggless chiffon cake recipe to the test. No egg, no pressure, no problem. Well, maybe a little bit of pressure. So I had someone reach out to me asking if I could make a cake for their daughter's seventh birthday. They wanted a jungle theme, but her daughter is allergic to eggs, so she asked if I could make an eggless cake. And I said, sure, why not? I've done it before. I've done vegan cakes actually, but I don't like to make fully vegan cakes unless it is actually for a fully vegan person ordering it. So what I did is I looked for recipes online for chiffon cakes and I found an eggless recipe, which was very simple. Now, I usually use box cake mixes because I have not perfected my own cake recipes yet. And the recipes that I had from when I was in school, actually, I just did not like them. So I've always been using First Street cake mixes, which is from Smart and Final. Now, I will be replacing my vanilla cakes or white cakes rather with this chiffon cake recipe. I have one recipe that uses eggs and one without eggs. So I may actually just stick the one without eggs because eggs are expensive, as you know. And if I can make it without the eggs, why not, right? Save myself an ingredient and a little bit of extra time. So anyway, I was recipe testing this day and it actually came out really well. I will not be using this specific cake that I made for the person who's ordering because I did not make enough batter. That was the thing I was also testing out is I didn't know how much batter this cake was actually going to make and how many layers I would get out of it. So I ended up making three super thin layers because I divided the batter into three layers and I wasn't sure how much it was going to rise and all that stuff. So, being that I didn't get really thick layers, because normally I was going to do a three-layer cake for her, and because they came out so thin, I didn't want to do that. I don't like doing super thin cakes, but I also don't like doing really thick layers either. I like a nice even layer of frosting, filling, and cake layers. So that is what I was trying to do here. But like I said, I didn't know how much it was going to rise and all that stuff. So I ended up with three thinner layers. So you're going to see in another video after this, or maybe before this, I'm not really sure when it's going to come out, but I ended up using this batter for something else, for myself and for my family. So again, this was just testing anyways. I wasn't making this for anything specific. I just wanted to make sure that the recipe would work so that when I do go to make the lady's cake for her daughter, that I know that the recipe is going to work well. And I can't remember if I mentioned already, but she wants a jungle themed cake. So I got to tell you that since starting my home bakery, I have been pushing myself out of my comfort zone and trying to learn new things. So I bought some new molds off of Amazon, which I should actually be receiving today, the day that I am editing this video. And I'm going to be using that to make my chocolate modeling clay and um, making the animals out of the chocolate modeling clay and the molds. So we'll see how that turns out. But again, I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone these days and trying to say yes to more things, especially if it's not short notice and I have time to work out if I know how to do it or not, or if it's something that I can do. So here, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tip. Once I took those cakes out of the oven, you want to let them cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I wrap each layer individually with plastic wrap, and then I'm going to layer them all together and wrap them again. And the reason why I do this is it helps keep the cake a little more moist and keeps it fresh because I wasn't planning on using these right away. So this is a tip that if you want to make your cake ahead of time and then freeze it or even refrigerate it, depending on how far ahead you need it, you just pull it out of the freezer and you're all set to go. If you guys would like the recipe for this, let me know and I will link it down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.